So this year has been a fantastic year for games. The conversation about Game of the Year this year is going to be harder than any previous year. And what I've noticed as well this year is that animation is now a critical part of every single game that has been now considered Game of the Year. Doesn't matter if there's indie or AA or AAA. Now in this video, I wanted to highlight the animation aspect of things because I think that there is, to me at least, there's a need to highlight and elevate all these people that have worked behind the scenes on animation. And as you guys know, if you guys been here on the channel, animation, just like everything else in games, like, it's a little bit of an unsung hero of games. And I think that we need to actually put names to some of this work that has been done, because I think it's important for you guys to know the people behind it, but also for you guys to actually appreciate how much effort it goes into these things. So if this sounds interesting to you, join me and let's get to it. Welcome to another video. Super glad to have you here with me. Now, without further ado, I'm going to start with third-person games, a list of my favorite ones, and then towards the end, I'm going to talk about first-person games. So make sure you stick around so you can see that. Now, the first game that I have to mention here is Ghost of Yōtei. I actually played the very first game and I enjoyed it a bunch and I thought it was beautiful, but this kind of takes things to another level. The level of beauty that you get with this game is incredible. And then you can tell that the team at Sucker Punch did a job that was just about polish. So this is the beauty of second games, because on the first one, normally you set up your mechanics, you set up the basis of the game, you have to build the levels and the locomotion and all this of the things. On the second one, you can focus on iterative process and adding more candy and polishing things further. And you can tell that this is true in this game. You can tell that the team at Sucker Punch did an amazing job at making sure that this game really sings, that feels fluid. The horse animations are second to none. The combat is absolutely stunning and gives you a sense of like freedom for the most part, which I really enjoyed. And I think that I was trying to kind of fool the game or get some bugs or feel like the game actually had something maybe, but the game is polished to no end. I couldn't find an animation bug to show you because the game is so well put together. So you have here an amazing game that I would highly recommend if you really are into analyzing AAA animations at the highest level. So shout out to the Sucker Punch animation team for an amazing job. I'm pretty sure a lot of work went into this for sure. Now, let's talk about Rematch. Now, my second game here is Rematch, and Rematch is a game by Sloclap, and you know Sloclap from the game Sifu that actually won Game of the Year a few years ago, I believe. Rematch is a football game, and I think that the levels, the decorations, the style that the characters have, everything kind of works really well, but the thing that shines the most in this game is definitely the animations. And in a game that they had to develop a brand new animation system because a kung fu game like Sifu and a football game like Rematch require two different animation systems, and building systems and building animations and then getting them all to kind of fit in together and flow with no bugs is incredibly hard. And what is harder even is the fact that this is a network game, meaning that you need to have a client, you need to have a server, and things need to work correctly, and you need to actually have things synced, especially on a football game. There's a bunch of different things, technicalities that actually need to happen on a network game that don't really apply to single player games, and this is why single player games are much simpler. So major kudos to the team over there, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes next from Sloclap, especially after this game. Now, the third game here is going to be Eriksholm. Eriksholm, The Stolen Dream is actually the full name of the title, is a really clever game. It's the first game by a studio called River End Games, and I remember the creation of River End Games because it was actually by ex-dicers, people that used to work at DICE with me. But now that I've played Eriksholm and I've seen the level of detail and animations and the world building and everything in the game is absolutely incredibly polished. And I think telling this story from a top-down perspective instead of a third-person perspective is incredibly smart from them, because you can tell that early on they decided on this mechanic to actually be top-down. And then that simplified the game design, it simplified the animations, it simplified most likely textures, and a bunch of different things can actually be done at a much more scalable size, which for a new studio doing a first game, that sometimes studios are overly ambitious, I think this is incredibly smart. So I'll give major kudos to the team. And then the animations, even though it's a top-down view, I can tell that a lot of detail went into the animations in this game. I love it, and it's very addictive. I find myself just going like, just another level, just another room. Can I sneak past these guys? So I really wish lots of success to River End Games, and I hope they deliver many more games. And I think they are very much in keeping with studios like Sloclap or Hazelight, where they start with a bang. And I think if they lean into that style, I think it's going to be very successful going forward. Now, the fourth game here is going to be Keeper. Keeper is a game by Double Fine Studios, and only Double Fine could make this game. Double Fine is a studio that has a pedigree of making super original games, and they are games that actually connect with you not only emotionally but also visually. And Keeper is 100% a Double Fine game. I feel like this game is really similar to what, I don't know, an Aardman or a Pixar back in the day would actually create, where you don't know exactly what they're going to do next. You just know that it's going to be good. And Keeper is exactly that. When I started playing the game, I had no expectations. I tried to not spoil it with reviews, and then what you see is very much a lighthouse coming to life and then exploring this world, and he's basically telling that story, but with no words, no explanation. You just feel things, you just look at things, you just do things, and then you start to kind of like feel connected with this lighthouse. And the biggest thing that kind of struck me is how much like personality they gave to this lighthouse. And the only thing that this lighthouse here has is legs, a body, and then just an eye as the light. And that's it. Incredibly simple, and yet really, really deep. Major kudos to the animation team at Double Fine. Everybody that worked in the game. Is in a wonderful game. I cannot wait to finish it, but I had to do this video. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, number 5 is Split Fiction. Another amazing studio that is actually here with a bang is Hazelight. I feel like their games give me so much happiness, and I always play with my wife. We played It Takes Two, and now we started playing Split Fiction. And my wife is having a ball playing this, and she's not even a hardcore gamer. But the fact that it's two women is empowering. The fact that you have so many mechanics in the game, and you play, I feel like I played every single genre in the world of games in this one game. And I think that for people that even are not super hard into games, playing this game really gives you an understanding of the mastery of game design and animation from this studio. Because I can tell that the game designers and the animators are working really closely together, and the game designers really block out something for the animators to then work out on something, and then they keep going back and forth in order to get the best possible level for that section, and then they move on to the next, and they keep on iterating like that. So whatever they do in Hazelight is beautiful, and you can tell that there's a lot of teamwork and collaboration. And a studio like that is always like high regarded by me, because the best studios that I had the most fun are always studios like that. Alright, South of Midnight is a game that has been on my radar ever since I realized that this was a story about this black woman in the South, and also attached to this project was Mike Jungbluth, which is a good friend of mine, amazing animation director. I absolutely love this game. Lots of personality, feels different from anything that I've ever played before. And it's definitely a love letter for us animators. So out of this list, if you actually want to play something that is absolutely animation centric, this will be the game for you, because the game starts with very much like this hand drawn to the animation, and it keeps on giving you these vignettes, this comic style kind of 2D animations, and then also has cutscenes that are basically stop motion, and they have so much personality and they're super well put together. And then on top of that, within the game you have elements of 2D animation, stylized animation, the character design, how things are kind of like done. I'm more akin to what Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is, where things are not super clean but for a good reason stylistically. And Overall, you can tell animation and Mike had a massive saying in this game and what makes this game unique, and it's just a good game, basically. So, South of Midnight, highly recommended. Shout out to Mike and his team for the amazing work, and I'm looking forward to seeing more games from that studio. Alright, let's move on to first-person games. So here, the very first one that I have to mention, the one that blew me away the most, is definitely Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, when it was first announced and I saw the trailer, to me, I felt slightly let down because I am a massive indie fan. I love the trilogy, my favorite trilogy of all time, followed closely by The Matrix and Back to the Future most likely. And when I realized that the game was in first person, I was dubious about the decision because what I wanted was a third person experience. So I could see my character going through this world and stuff. But once again, each studio, whenever they take these decisions, is not easy to take these decisions. So they probably thought long and hard exactly where to go. And now that I've played it in first person, I realize why. Because the level of immersion when you are whipping that whip, or you are kind of opening a lever, or you are actually rolling down a place, or running through the forest, it's like nothing else. And I feel like nothing really has captured the magic of the first three movies, and I think this game does it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing a sequel, and all the animations in first person, in third person, because at moments you go to third person, they actually gel really well. They are very smooth. The cinematics are incredibly well done as well. And major shout out to the team at MachineGames for pulling off one of the biggest IPs with an amazing story and amazing animations. It's really hard, especially to please fans like myself, and you guys did it. So shout out to the animation team for an amazing job. Now the second game here is Wildgate. I think Wildgate in first person, the first person animations, how the character moves, the weapons, how they feel, how they look. I think there's a lot of love for first person in that studio. It's a brand new studio as well. So once again, they had to develop all the systems, all the animations, merge them together, make sure they all sync. And I think the feel of that game is really good. And I know that it's early days for the game, but I do hope and wish them all the success. I can tell that studio really cares for animation, and any studio that cares for animation as much as that, it has all the respect in the world for me. So major kudos to the animation team. Now third game here is going to be Doom: The Dark Ages. Now Doom, the feeling that you have in first person is like nothing else. Everybody that has played Doom probably knows this, and it's because of the sense of fluidity and motion and cadence. And once you actually get good with those mechanics in the game, you just feel like you're in the flow state almost. And in this game, I feel like they slow things down a bit more because it's the Dark Ages, it's like more medieval. And because of that, I think the animation team, and this is just me assuming, had more time to invest on the animations to make sure that they feel even more diegetic, right? Like everything feels like it needs to be hit, or, you know, like it needs to be cracked open or something along those lines. And because of that, the game feels more visceral than ever, but also has a really amazing feel in first person. And id Software has always been amazing at kind of like creating these first person animations that actually look and feel absolutely amazing. So want to give a massive shout out to the team at id Software, because you guys are nailing it, and I don't think things are going to change anytime soon because it's in the DNA of the company. But major shout out to the animation team because amazing work, and I'm looking forward to the next one. There you have it, the best animated games of 2025. Now I want to reiterate once again that every single team in this list of games has worked incredibly hard, and I cannot stress enough the amount of hard work that goes into these things, because the more AAA the game is, the faster cadence of animations and turnover you have, but also a lot of ideas and designs kind of like just get left. And then you have to move on to the next thing, and there's so many good ideas that get left on the table, so many animations that we thought we needed but now we no longer need it. So I hope this video gave you a new appreciation for the work that goes behind the scenes in some of these games. And let me know down below, what game are you enjoying the most this year when it comes to animation, and did I miss any games that you think that I should be included in this list? And if you do, drop a comment, let me know, and until the next video, stay well, stay safe. Peace. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, go ahead and hit the like button. If you super enjoyed it,
leave a super thanks. It's like leaving a little tip and it directly supports the channel. If you haven't already, subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can continue to see my videos and get your weekly dose of betterment.